Hi there, it's Kute here giving you a shout out wherever you are in the world today. Today, I want to talk about one of the most powerful forces that will impact your success in life, your happiness in life. I want to talk about something that I have seen every single successful person in the world do a lot of this thing I'm talking about. It is a powerful force. In fact, I believe that you can't truly succeed without doing this thing. You might be asking yourself, Kute, what is it? Are you curious? What is this thing that I'm talking about? You know, so many books today talk about being perfect, being amazing, being perfect, be perfect, be perfect, be perfect. You look at magazines, you look at the media, you listen to the radio, you watch the billboards. It's all about being perfect. Oh, you have to do it right. You have to be perfect. You have to fit in. You have to conform. Well, today, I am here to say that there is a power. There is a power to making mistakes. That's right. I'm here today to encourage you, to challenge you, to invite you to make mistakes. You might be thinking, mistakes? Who wants to make a mistake? But just ponder this for a moment. Mistakes are simply, what if mistakes were simply a misperception? What if mistakes were simply a misperception based on the state of your consciousness, based on the state of your own evolution at that particular point in time? What if in reality, in the grand scheme of the totality of life, there were actually no mistakes in the universe and in your life at all? It was just a perspective based on this moment. So often when you evolve or mature, a few years pass and you look back on your life at a certain experience or a certain relationship that occurred that you thought, oh, that was such a mistake, he was such a mistake, she was such a mistake, that job was such a mistake. But it's only when you look back in perspective, in retrospect, that often can you see the beauty, the learning of that experience. It's only often when you look back in time that you realize, wow, had that never happened, had that relationship never happened, I would never have begun on my spiritual path. Had that relationship never happened, I would never have met this person, never have met that person, and today would not have met my soulmate or my husband or my wife had I not made that mistake. Mistakes are just us seeing a particular point in time. It's like looking at a painting, but only seeing a small piece of the painting based on our current level of perception and ability to perceive, not seeing the whole picture. What if the mistakes you make in your life were in fact the greatest things you could do as a part of your evolution, that there were actually no mistakes, just learnings, just growth and learnings. As souls, we are here. I believe that we are here in a human form in the 3D to not do it perfectly. Perfectly is just based on perceptions that people have that are really determined by our own conditioning and our own level of consciousness. I believe that we're here on this planet, incarnated in human form, in this form to learn, to grow and evolve. That the true purpose of life is not to be perfect, is not to never make a mistake, but essentially is to learn, to grow and evolve. And every experience, every relationship, every situation, everything that we experience and go through in our life is not about right or wrong. So what if you were to no longer see things that occurred as, am I doing this right? Oh my God, I have to make the right decision. I have to be right. I can't do it wrong. In that kind of dualistic way of thinking, what if you were to really view every single situation and experience in your life as an opportunity for your soul to evolve, as an opportunity for your soul to learn, as an opportunity for you to learn more and more about who you truly are as an individual, who you truly are, what your authentic truth is, to peel away the layers of fear, to become more courageously who you truly are. That every single experience, relationship, person, place, situation is serving you, is simply an opportunity to see who you really are, to see who you really are more and more clearly. So I invite you today to shift your perception from right or wrong, good or bad, and ask yourself, not am I making mistakes, am I doing it right, am I doing it wrong, but shift your perception to a place of, am I growing? Am I evolving from this situation? What am I learning? How am I learning? How am I growing and learning from this situation right now? See, I often say life is crazy, life is wild, life is meant to be a glorious adventure, not simply a safe little trot through the park. But life is meant to be experienced to the fullest. So my question is, rather than trying to do it right, rather than trying to be perfect, you see, ultimately, in the human, in the 3D form, out here, there is no such real thing as perfection. Life is constantly birthing, dying, decaying, constantly impermanent and changing, full of ups and downs, plus and minus, duality. Life itself isn't perfect. Your personality as a personality isn't perfect. It's not meant to be perfect. And that in and of itself is perfect. The dimension of your own being, of your own soul, of your own true essence that is changeless, is birthless, is beyond form, is perfect, has always been perfect. At that level, can never make a mistake, because every single thing that happens in your life is perfectly aligned and synchronized for your evolution and your highest growth, whether you're able to see that right now or not. So if you look back on your life for a moment and you think back at some of the things that you judged that occurred, that you felt shouldn't have happened, could have happened, may not have could have been different, or maybe you look back at some of the people you met that you thought were a mistake in your life. If you look back, you might see that, wow, had that thing not happened, you wouldn't be where you are today. And if you're not where you want to be right now today, ask yourself, what can you most learn from this moment? Because there must be something that your soul is seeking to learn in this moment. There are no mistakes, just learning opportunities, opportunities to know yourself, opportunities to evolve, opportunities to become more of who you truly are, more fully right now. Use every experience for your evolution. Use every experience for your evolution. Life is not meant to be perfect. You're not perfect. I'm not perfect. But that is what makes it so perfectly perfect in its imperfections. So how would you live your life if you gave up trying to do it perfectly? If you gave up trying to do it right? How would you live your life, my friends, if you weren't trying to fit into someone else's idea of who you should be, what you should do, what you should eat, what you should think, but you were to actually feel your own full authenticity and follow the intuitive guidance of your soul? Sometimes we're so afraid of making what we think is a mistake that we're often paralyzed. You know, oh, I don't want to take that step. I don't want to take that risk, because what if I do it wrong? What if it's not the right decision? Oh my God, I don't want to open my heart. I don't want to, you know, take the action step towards my dream, because what if it's the wrong decision? What if there was actually no wrong decision, that every single decision you made, if you learn from it, would simply move you a step closer? Move you a step closer, maybe getting clearer what you don't want, but getting clearer where you need to go. What if every single step was a service? What if every single step was a learning? What if you saw every single moment of your life with the eyes of a child, of a curiosity, of fascination, and learn from that experience moment to moment to moment to moment to moment? Life is a risk. To live life fully, to live life fully is a risk. The question is, are you willing to take that risk? Because it's not the risk that you didn't take, it's the love that you dared to make that makes the difference. Because at the end of the life, you won't necessarily ask yourself, oh my gosh, you know, how many mistakes did I prevent? At the end of your life, when that moment comes where you're about to make your transition into another phase of life, I believe that you will ask yourself, how would you need to live your life right now so that you could live with no regrets? I believe that the real courage is not to die. The real courage is not to die. The real courage is to dive into the fullness of life with all its ups and its downs. The real courage is to dive into the messiness of life and relationship and heartbreak, and risk yourself, risk your heart, risk everything you've got, and live fully. Are you willing? Are you willing to risk making mistakes? Are you willing to risk making a mistake? Because I believe that perhaps the greatest mistake is not being willing to make mistakes. And in that moment of making mistakes, you will then find out that there are really no mistakes at all. Love now.